there is some guidance as far as actual signature requirements in the charter as far as requiring the chairman to sign that, but that doesn't preclude the board from adding additional steps to it. It's up to the board for discussion.
Discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Mayor?
I had a couple questions. I had thought that after the Hodges Farm Willard Road fiasco that Lori became in charge of the contracts. So I want to know, did she have any oversight at all on the ADS contract? And that's the first question I had.
The ADS contract was already in the works before we started the contract process with the road and the projects.
But I thought after we did all that with Feldspar and all, that you started reviewing all the contracts. I'm just asking, were you able to review?
No, I'm not
allowed to
reviewing.
review the ADS contract?
I've not reviewed the ADS contract.
I think that since Lori's in charge of the contracts, that she should be signing them as our county rep, because she's the one that's supposed to review them and go through them, and that's what we asked her to do before after all those others. So.
Yeah. Can I ask a clarification question? So are you saying she would sign, the chairman would sign, and then she would sign as contract administrator, or is that what you're saying?
Something like that.
Excuse me. Typically, I think what Ms. Patrick may be talking about is Laurie would be the approval officer that would sign prior to submission to the board.
I'm not saying the chairman's not going to sign, but
Yeah.
right now we have the county manager and the chairman signing. Personally, I mean, and I can make a motion to that effect. I just thought we could discuss it first. I'd like to see Lori sign it as the contract, whatever you call her, person, title, and as well as a majority of the board members, the chairman and 2 other members.
Well, getting back to what Jim just mentioned, that's basically what I said in the minutes we just approved, which is that before we ever see it, management here, staff here, needs to sign off on it. And I feel perfectly comfortable with Lori being the signature or county manager, either one. But someone needs to sign off that they approve and they've read it and they've reviewed it before we ever see it. And by the way, the attorney also needs to be doing it. It should not be done by, we shouldn't get a contract that has not been reviewed by the staff and the attorney.
I think some of the problem is some of the contracts gets in with the other contract has not been voted on. That's the
Right, that's what this is coming from. At the last meeting, we had the ADS contract already in hand.
Once again, a way to stop that is to have the attorney and the CFOs or the county manager sign off on that before we ever see it.
I mean, the problem is we want what we have voted on to be signed by the chair. We want the chair here. We don't want stuff that creeps in the folder that's not been passed. That's what the question is coming from.
Well, and that's why I say if Lori's in charge of the contracts, I think she needs to, and I'm not saying she needs to sign the contract. We might need to have a cover sheet that says Jim Alexander's checked it off, he's reviewed it, Lori's checked it off, and then when it's time, Lori should sign it as the contract person and the chairman, and I feel 2 other board members. That way, you're not going to have a contract, somebody sitting up there with the contract, and we haven't even voted on it. And that's what came up at the last meeting.
Not all in favor? I abstain. Motion carries forward. Moving on.